Hello, and welcome to That Goes Awesome, the only podcast where everything goes awesome. I'm Jayden.
I'm Christian.
And we're back. We took a 2-week hiatus while both of us were on our respective vacations.
Accidental hiatus.
Yeah, we didn't really plan that out very well. But we're back, and we should be back to regularly scheduled programming now.
Every Thursday, at whatever time I get it uploaded.
Yeah, that's the idea. But anyways, here we are. Thank you for joining us. Christian, I guess, do you want to start with what we're doing today, or do you want to explain this?
I feel like the elephant in the room is right here.
Hey, guys.
It was basically a month ago at this point. We did the video game draft, and we decided that whoever lost the vote at the end was going to have to wear some stupid outfit of the other person's choosing, and clearly I didn't lose.
I was gonna say clearly you lost because I'm the one rocking the outfit right now.
True, bro's drippy.
No, yeah, I lost miserably.
It was actually like one vote, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think it was one vote.
it was actually, it was really close until the end, but then Christian, I was a bit disappointed in my team. So, not my team that I drafted, but my team of viewers who were supposed to help me and vote for me. So make sure if you're listening that you're following the Instagram at That Goes Awesome Pod, so that you can vote in polls like that. So when we do that, you can be an influence on which one of us is being stupid.
Yeah.
And let me just start by saying this costume is ridiculously uncomfortable. It is so tight and small. It's like a kid size, right?
That costume has been in my house since 2017.
It is very tight, and I can barely breathe. But we lost fair and square, so we're going to stick it through the end.
Yeah. So, do you want to tell them what we're doing today? Or you want me to do it?
Well, you're the man holding the iPad, so you explain what we're doing today.
So today we're going to be reading random stories off of Reddit. If you don't know what Reddit is, it's like social media, but for people who are even more of a loser than people who use social media. Anti-social media, if you will. But really, it's just a collection of different groups that just post a whole bunch of random things. And today we have some stories from various groups, and we're going to read them today and give our thoughts on them.
So disclaimer, Christian has read all the stories because he went through and tried to find some good.
There's a few that I skimmed, so hopefully they're good. But
yeah, so he's tried to find some interesting ones just so we didn't read off boring ones. But I have not heard any.
Yes.
Well, unless it's just one I've heard in my free time.
The first one's very possible that you've heard. But.
Yeah, but I have not seen the list that he's generated. I haven't seen anything, so I'm coming at this blind.
Yeah.
Just like you guys. So we're just gonna kind of go through this and just read these stories. A lot of them are kind of like, "Am I the a-hole?" which is like a subreddit, right? On
people post things about things that have happened in their life when one or more of people is like trying to decide if they were the butthole in the situation, if they can't actually figure out who's the one who's in the wrong, and then they let people comment on it and vote.
Yeah, so those will be kind of fun. So he'll be able to explain the whole situation, and we'll be like, who's the bad guy in the scenario or stuff like that. So we're just gonna kind of go through them, talk about these stories. I think some of them are kind of wild, probably. So then we'll just give our opinions on them, and hopefully I think this should be a fun time, and then we'll just see as we go, I guess.
Yeah. I think I have a decent selection. We should not run out of them to go through before time's up, but if that happens, we can just go on one of them and just start scrolling.
That actually sounds kind of fun. So. But at the same time, I'm kind of wanting to hurry.
Yeah.
Okay. This is actually it's like I can barely breathe.
I gave him permission to take it off. He's doing this to himself now. He said he's not a quitter.
He gave me permission, but I am not a quitter.
Okay.
I would feel ashamed if I took it off halfway through.
Okay.
So we got this.
So we'll go for the first post. The original post was removed, so I can't actually give credit to it, but somebody has archived it for our pleasure. This is the poop knife. Do you know the poop knife story?
I have heard this story.
Okay.
Wait, do you want to tell what subreddit it's on, or
this one? I don't know what it was originally on.
Okay.
But this post specifically has been archived on r/museum of Reddit, which is just the main. They're holding up these awesome stories, basically.
Historic Reddit stories, I guess.
So,
if you haven't heard the story, you're in for a treat.
Yeah, I love this story.
I'm also sorry for what you're about to listen to.
This is the first one I grabbed.
Okay, this is a great introduction to what Reddit stories is if you have no idea. But yeah.
My family poops big. Maybe it's genetic, maybe it's our diet, but everyone births giant logs of crap. If anyone has laid a mega poop, you know that sometimes it won't flush. It lays across the hole in the bottom of the bowl, and the vortex of draining water merely gives it a spin as it mocks you. Growing up, this was a common enough occurrence that our family had a poop knife. It was an old rusty kitchen knife that hung on a nail in the laundry room, only to be used for that purpose. It was normal to walk through a hallway and have someone call out, "Hey, can you get me the poop knife?" I thought it was standard kid. You have your plunger, your toilet brush, and your poop knife. Fast forward to 22, it's been a day or two between poops and I'm over at my friend's house. My friend was the local dealer and always had guests over because you can't buy weed without sitting on your butt and sampling it for an hour. I excuse myself and lay a gigantic turd. I look down and see that it's a sideways one, so I crack the door and call out for my friend. He arrives and I ask him for his poop knife. My what? Your poop knife, I say. I need to use it, please. What the F is a poop knife? Obviously he has one, but maybe he calls it by a more delicate name. A fecal cleaver, a dung divider, a guano glaive. I explain what it is I want and why I want it. He starts giggling, then laughing. Then a lot of people start laughing. It turns out the music stopped and everyone heard my pleas through the door. It turns out that none of them had poop knives. It was just my messed up family with their messed up bowels. F my life. I told this to my wife last night, who was amused and horrified at the same time. It turns out she did not know what a poof knife was and had been using the old rusty knife hanging in the utility closet as a basic utility knife. Thankfully, she didn't cook with it, but used it to open Amazon boxes. She will be getting her own utility knife now.
I forgot about the last part.
Yeah.
So, Christian, you have a poop knife?
I can't say I do.
Oh, that's such a classic Reddit story.
It's just, it's such a good beginner. It
is. So
it's a Hall of Famer.
So welcome to Reddit. That's Reddit. Oh, man, poor guy.
I can't imagine going through your entire life fully thinking this is normal, and then this is how you find out that it's not.
My question is, what did he do in public restrooms? Like, did he just never question there wasn't a poop knife?
Pocket poop knife?
You think he kept one? Why didn't he have one at the friend's house?
That's so true. I don't know what his thought process was. There wasn't much of one.
Did it say how old he was?
No. Everything I read was what was it?
I don't. So, but he was going to a friend's house to buy weed or so, which maybe we could ask Chris about. Maybe he knows more. Sorry. Check out the last episode if you haven't. He doesn't do that anymore. But man, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Just imagine that. I would love to be one of those other people who were just sitting in there.
You hear a guy yell out for the poop knife?
You hear him yell for the poop knife, and you're just like,
huh?
The what? Wait, what was some of the other names that he called for?
A fecal cleaver, dung divider, guano glaive.
Dung divider is
dung
crazy.
Divider goes crazy.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
I think that's a good one to start with.
No.
But, I don't think many of the stories at all would top that. But that one, there's less to talk about. It's more of a just, here's a story for you.
Yeah, I don't even know what else to say about that one.
Okay, so this next one is from Am I the A-Hole?
Okay, so this is one where we're deciding if the writer is the bad guy or not, basically.
Yeah. So, am I the a-hole for taking my girlfriend's lasagna home when she said I could? My girlfriend and I are both college students.
Well, that doesn't sound like just based off the title.
Trust me. She lives in an apartment on her own and I live with my parents. On Sunday, she made homemade lasagna for our date night. She made everything from scratch, including the noodles, which is crazy. It was really good, so after we finished, I asked if I could take lasagna home for my family to try. She said yes. When I left that night, I took the tray of lasagna home with me. My girlfriend didn't walk out with me, so she didn't see me take the tray. On Monday, I got a text from my girlfriend asking where the lasagna was. I told her I had taken it home for my family. She said, I thought you were going to take some, not the whole thing. I spent most of my food budget for the week on it with the intention to eat leftovers for the rest of the week. Now I don't know what I'm going to eat. I felt bad and apologized, but pointed out that I had asked her if I could take it home, and she didn't tell me that I couldn't take the whole tray. She said it should have been obvious that I shouldn't take the whole thing since the tray was so big. To be fair to her, it was a very big tray. My family of 5 only just finished the tray yesterday after eating it for dinner for both nights, but I don't think the size of the tray makes it obvious that I shouldn't take it. Monday night and last night, my girlfriend complained that she had to eat instant noodles for dinner so that she wouldn't blow her food budget. Today, she is asking me if I can buy her a sandwich since I took her leftovers for the week. It sucks that she spent her food budget on the lasagna, but I think this is her fault for not being clear that I shouldn't have taken the whole thing. I don't think she is justified in asking me to buy her lunch because of it. She called me an a-hole for not being willing to help her out. Am I the a-hole?
I see both their sides, but I do lean more towards him being the bad guy.
I absolutely agree. My first thought is he immediately says, like, the first thing that he says about taking it home is he asked if he could take some home for his family to try.
Yes.
That he brings the entire thing. That's not trying. That's just eating.
Yeah, that was my first thought too, because he's like, hey, can I take some for them to try? And that's just implying like, hey, can I take a little bit?
Yeah,
or
like a plate.
Yeah, just for them to like grab a bite
Yeah.
and be like, oh, that's good. Not, hey, can I just take the rest of it?
And apparently a massive tray. Family of 5?
Didn't he say he fed the family of 5 for like 2
2
nights?
nights, yeah.
That's an insane amount
Yeah,
of
that's truly crazy. And like, I think the big kicker here is it obviously sucks that he didn't like specify, and I see why he would be annoyed, but I still believe that she's in the right here. But he digs himself into a hole further whenever she says that she blew her food budget, and he doesn't even offer to get her food, and whenever she asks for it, he complains about having to do it. That's not a good boyfriend.
Does it say how long they've been together?
No.
I just feel like if you're in a relationship with someone, I mean, at the bare minimum, after you took all their food away, after they spent like all that money and all that work cooking you food and you just took it away,
Yeah.
you can at least buy her a sandwich.
Dude, if I have like only enough money for my girlfriend to eat, I'll just give her food and not buy anything myself. It's not that big of a deal. Like that.
Exactly. So I can't imagine just being like, am I the bad guy? My girlfriend's hungry and I'm taking it away. I'm not letting her eat.
I starved her because I stole her food budget for the week.
I starved my girlfriend and now I won't buy her food. Am I the a-hole?
Yeah, that's basically how it is. But
no, I mean, I get him wanting to take some to his family because he thought it was really good. He's really proud, and he seemed thankful in the first place. He's like, wow, I'm like, my girlfriend did all this for me. But it's just like, man, come on. You made a mistake, which we could get by with, but the bad part is he doubled down on it, and he wasn't like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he fumbled big time.
Yeah, he fumbled the bag.
Yeah.
He's for sure the a-hole. If you disagree, let us know.
This one is one that like it's an Am I the A-hole post, but it doesn't really feel like there was that much to be called the a-hole for. I just thought it was kind of silly. Okay. I like the idea of it. Yeah. Am I the a-hole for pretending to get fired when customers get a temper with me? I'm a high schooler with a weekend job at a coffee shop. My coworkers who work weekends are James, the owner's son. He goes to my school. He's a shift manager, but it's not a real formal thing. He's a friendly guy. Danielle, a college student who sometimes works weekends too. So sometimes customers will come in and just be angry about such little stuff, like literally blow up about nothing. I don't know if they're in a bad mood already and looking for someone to take it out on or what, but it's a lot. Like, how sad do you have to be a grown man taking your anger out on a high school and college kids? And like, we both work in areas where that's common, so I see it, but I know what he's talking about. But so James and I were joking.
James and you were what?
So James and I were joking about having a little fun with them and hopefully getting them off our backs. So one day I was at work and some guy was having a temper about how we didn't make the coffee hot enough, which I couldn't do a thing about because I gave it to him right out of the machine. So James came in and was like, "Sir, is there a problem here?" And the guy started ranting at him too. So he was like, "OP," which is the original poster, the guy who posted this is unacceptable. You're fired. I started acting real sad, like, "No, please don't fire me. My family needs the money. I need this job, please." And he played up being a hard A, telling me to take off my apron and leave. The angry guy started to backtrack, like, "It isn't that big of a problem. You don't need to fire her over it. I didn't mean it." And James was like, "Nope, we pride ourselves on the best customer service." Of course, after all the drama, I still had my job. We were just acting, and we've done it a couple times. Whenever a customer will lose their temper at Danielle or I, James will storm in and fire us. And almost every time, the person who would come in angry will apologize and say that they didn't mean it. It's kind of satisfying making people realize their actions might actually have consequences. Anyway, I was telling my friends from school about this, and a few of them thought it was a mean prank to let someone go away thinking they'd gotten someone who desperately needs the money fired. Am I the a-hole for this joke?
No,
Absolutely not.
No,
This is awesome.
That is awesome. Sorry for the like random loud laughter, but no, that is so fun. That sounds like something that we would do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's so funny because at the end of the day, people are so just rude.
They
in
take their
public.
anger out too much.
They take their anger out on just workers who a lot of the time it's something that isn't their fault or something they can't even control. So the idea of like just playing this prank on somebody and making them think that like they actually got the kid fired or whatever, that's so funny.
If you make them feel bad because of like a joke that they thought you got fired. Imagine how you feel whenever they're doing that completely seriously, not as a prank. So I think it's perfectly fine.
No, exactly. I think it's fine too. Anybody who thinks that they're just being crazy and shouldn't do that, loser.
Yeah.
Loser. Have some fun in your life. That's so funny because the old people, not to say that all old people are mean, but the old people who come in and just complain about everything and just yell at the workers who are like our age or like teenagers or like early 20s or whatever, just about the most random stuff that probably isn't their fault, probably they can't control. It's like, come on, man. Like, just grow up, literally. So, no, I think that's awesome.
Definitely not the a-hole there.
Definitely get back at all those people. That's so funny.
No, that's awesome.
Teach them a lesson. Make them think their actions have consequences. I love that.
I like it. So,
I love that.
So, the next one is from TIFU, which stands for Today I Effed Up.
Yes.
So, this one is awesome. Today I effed up by throwing my steak out a window.
I actually think I might have heard this one.
You? Okay,
it sounds familiar.
This is incredible. Last night, my wife's boss from her brand new job invited us over for dinner. On the drive over, my wife reiterated many times to me just how important it was to make a good impression. I scoffed and arrogantly informed my silly wife that I always make good impressions.
King.
My wife's boss is a single lady in her 50s, so it was just the three of us. We chit-chatted over drinks and salads and seemed to really be hitting it off. She laughed at my well-timed, perfectly appropriate jokes, and my wife seemed pleased. Soon, she brought out the main course, a nice big juicy steak for each of us. As I began to cut into my steak, I was discouraged to discover how undercooked the steak was. Now, I've had my fair share of rare steak. I prefer medium, but I can handle rare. This was several minutes on a hot grill short of rare. I probably could have resuscitated the cow had I tried. Instead, I sat there fidgeting with my knife and fork, worrying about how I was going to get away with not eating the steak. Claim veganism? No, I had already feigned great enthusiasm upon seeing the steak. Just then, our hostess excused herself to the kitchen to take care of some dessert preparations. As I looked across the fancy dining room table at the open window of this third-story apartment, a cartoon light bulb appeared over my head. I knew I had to be decisive, realizing that she could return at any moment. I committed. I grabbed the steak with my right hand, gently shook off the juice, and executed a perfect throw right through the center of the open window. Here's the big-time F-up. The window wasn't open. It was the cleanest freaking window you've ever seen in your life. That is, until my mostly raw slab of steak slammed up against it and slowly slid down, leaving a trail of bloody juice in its wake. My wife, whose steak was a nice medium rare and was unaware of my predicament, turned jaw-dropped and stared at me like I was an alien from another planet. This look then slowly morphed into more of a "there is no place on this planet you can ever hide from me" expression of demonic anger. My wife's boss heard the thud of the steak on window impact and came quickly. She took in the scene, the steak sitting on the windowsill, the blood trail, my empty plate, and gave me an inquisitive, puzzled look. I just didn't know what to say. It felt like a minute of silence, but it was probably 3 or 4 seconds. Finally, the best I could manage was, "I'm so sorry. I'm such a klutz. I don't know. I was just cutting it and it slipped. Just ask my wife. I really am a klutz. Alright, honey? Parentheses. No help coming from that direction. Parentheses. I will clean this up. I can't believe this. I'm so sorry," etc., etc. Both women continued to stare at me like I had escaped from the loony bin as I smeared the blood around the window with my cloth napkin, dusted off the steak, and continued to mutter my incoherent explanation. I knew no one was buying the story. I knew what I had to do. I sheepishly returned to my seat and proceeded to eat every bite of that disgusting, cold, chewy, bloody, raw steak. I remained pretty quiet the rest of the evening. My wife's only 2 words to me since the incident are, "I'm fine." Have you heard that story before?
I have heard that story. It's been a while. I just can't imagine ever being in that situation because I'm the type of person to where if I'm ever like offered food or whatever, I always try and eat all
Me
of
too.
it. Otherwise, I feel bad.
Me too.
And no matter if I don't like it, no matter if it's just disgusting or whatever, I will just make sure I eat my whole plate because I don't want the person who's feeding me to feel like that I'm like ungrateful or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think I don't eat steak.
I love steak. I had one earlier today.
Big steak guy.
Big
right
steak
here.
guy.
I'm not a big steak guy because I'm scared I'll get choked and die. That's a whole other story.
Yeah.
So I would not be trying to eat a steak. But if I was in a similar situation, I would have made myself eat it.
I would have as well. And also, he literally ate it at the end, which obviously you don't. It is scary eating a steak that seems undercooked.
Mm-hmm.
But if he was like able to physically eat it at the end, he could have just sucked it up and done that earlier instead of chugging it in the window.
Why was his first reaction to? I just imagine him in his brain like he's just sitting there. The host leaves his wife's boss. And then he's just looking around. He's like, how can I get rid of this? Like, is there a dog, trash can, window? And instantly throws.
Yeah, I love the idea of everything about that story. Just being the wife and seeing this happen. I didn't save it, but there is a story on on Reddit of the woman, the wife's side of this post, and it's pretty funny. I might have saved it, but I don't think I did. We might get back to it.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
But yeah, that's a good one.
Man, that must have been a really clean window.
Yeah, it's the most clean freaking window you've ever seen in your life. Like,
the wife's boss must have just scrubbed that window, just got it squeaky clean to where it looked like it just went outside.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
I love it. Okay, the next one. It's another "Am I the a-hole" post. Am I the a-hole for refusing to tell my husband the gender of our baby after he skipped going to a doctor appointment with me? My husband and I are expecting. This is our first baby and we're excited. Thing is, he barely attends any doctor appointments with me and his excuses aren't even valid. He's willing to miss the doctor appointment over soccer, a drink, or board game with friends. His response is always, I'm not the one carrying the baby. Why do I have to go see the doctor with you?
Okay, wait. He is the asshole. I mean, a-hole. Is that the question?
There's more. There's an entire rest of the post. But yeah, like...
What? I'm not carrying the baby. I'm not going to the... No, that's not how this works. There was two people in that situation.
No, yeah, you're the father.
I don't care what he says. He's going to have to... I don't think he can redeem himself after those words.
No, there is no redemption. I'll continue reading, but yeah, there's no redemption.
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you. That's just
good,
crazy.
Last week was my final straw. He was supposed to come with me for the baby's gender reveal appointment, but he chose not to come last minute because his friend invited him to a fish and chips meal. I was pretty livid, but didn't make a fuss about it. Mom went with me instead. He texted me asking me to tell him the results, boy or girl, but I refused to tell him. He kept spam calling me, but I hung up each time. He came home fuming, demanding I tell him the results, but I refused and bluntly told him since he refused to attend the appointment, then he gets no results till after the baby's born, and I said I was willing to die on this hill. He went off, calling me spiteful and immature for doing this and punishing him. He said he's the father and has the right to know. He then called me dramatic since I wasn't alone and Mom was with me. I said he gets no results, period. He's been fuming about it and told his family, and they're now pressuring me to stop playing mind games with him and tell him, but I declined. Am I the a-hole? Absolutely not.
A father who has the right to know is a father who has the obligation to take care of his pregnant wife.
And go to the doctor with her.
Yes.
What the heck? I honestly, there's not a lot to say about it just because this one, there's no two sides here.
Read the title again.
Am I the a-hole for refusing to tell my husband the gender of our baby after he skipped going to a doctor appointment with me?
When you read the title, I'm thinking like, okay, maybe because the husband, the father of the baby, deserves to know because it's also his baby. It's 50-50. But the fact that he's choosing to not even basically be a part of this journey of this, the wife going through like this pregnancy and everything.
It's their journey together.
Exactly. It's supposed to be their journey together. So
she has the harder part, but he still needs to play a part.
Yes, it is his job to take care of her and make sure that her and the baby are okay, and that includes going to the doctor's appointments, especially if the lady is asking you to.
Yeah. That's truly insane.
That I can't imagine ever being in a situation where like I don't want to be there for every step of that process.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think Queen on her for not. Well, okay, let me back up. I don't think she's the a-hole for not wanting to share that information or whatever. But obviously, this is a situation that something else has to happen because it doesn't seem like they're married, right? It was husband and wife.
Yeah.
I just don't know how that's going to work
Yeah,
out.
the top comment, I think, just sums it up perfectly, where the first comment says, not the a-hole, already a deadbeat dad before the baby's even born. And absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, there was an update to this post saying that she got in a further argument with her husband because he attempted to contact the doctor to force the results out of the doctor instead of, like, actually trying to talk things out or whatever. And even worse, he couldn't get the results because he didn't make the call. He had his mom do it.
He's a mama's boy.
Yeah, so that's crazy. That's wild.
As a certified mama's boy, that is really funny. But that's insane.
Yeah, it's insane.
Well, I guess, no, the doctor, even though they're married, the doctor still couldn't even give out any information, probably. Especially if it's his mom calling, but even if it's him calling.
I don't know, honestly.
I don't know how that works.
But either way, like, if it's, like, he, obviously, there's, like, I don't think there's really any repairing that, but he needs to at least sit down and talk with her.
Yeah.
Like, arguing is not how you solve problems.
To raise that child together, any child together, the mother and the father, or the parent one, the parent two, have to be on the same page.
Yeah.
And it is evident that those two are not.
She's multiple pages ahead.
At all. She's, like, already on the third book of the series. He's, like, trying to make it through the title page. So
she finished the book. He looked at the cover.
He like glanced at the cover and thought it was
put
like
it back on the shelf.
He put it back on the shelf because he only got it out because he thought it was a movie, but he doesn't like to read, so he put it back. But no, so at that point, I mean, I don't want to be the guy that's just like divorce him, but it sounds like she needs to ASAP figure out how to redeem the situation between them two. They need to go to counseling, go to whatever, or if that's not going to work, she just needs to hurry and find somebody else so she can actually take care of this baby the way it needs to be taken care of.
Yeah. That one's crazy.
What a terrible person.
Yeah. Okay, so the next story is another Today I Effed Up, and this one's like honestly not really silly, but it's a shorter one. I think just fills the gap between Am I the A-holes.
Okay.
Today I effed up by buying everyone an Ancestry DNA kit and ruining Christmas. Earlier this year, Ancestry DNA had a sale on their kit. I thought it would be a great gift idea, so I bought 6 of them for Christmas presents. Today, my family got together to exchange presents for our Christmas Eve tradition, and I gave my mom, dad, and brother, and 2 sisters each a kit. As soon as everyone opened their gift at the same time, my mom started freaking out. She told us she didn't want us taking them because they had unsafe chemicals. We explained to her how there were actually no chemicals, but we could tell she was still flustered. Later, she started trying to convince us that only one of the kids needed to take it, since we all have the same results, and to resell extra kits to save money. Fast forward, our parents have been fighting upstairs for the past hour, and we're downstairs trying to figure out who has a different dad. Okay, so give me your thoughts so far. That's technically the end of the post, but there's more.
Well, that was going to be what I was going to say. It sounds like there's a different dad in the situation because the mom's the one that started freaking out.
Yeah, she's freaking out about it. Now she's upstairs arguing with the dad.
So the mom and the dad are fighting now. So that makes me wonder. I guess the dad probably didn't know.
Well, you'll see.
Okay, I'll see. My guess is, okay, well, one of two things. The dad had no idea, which this gave him like the inkling, or like because the mom started freaking out. So then he questioned her about it, and they come back and forth. Or maybe he did know. I feel like that doesn't really make, because I can't imagine knowing. I guess they would have had to like keep it a secret together, but no, I'm assuming the dad didn't know.
Okay.
No. And then so it's 3 kids.
It's OP, it's I don't know if it's male or female, but the OP, a brother and 2 sisters, so 4 kids.
So 4 kids, okay.
And only one of them needs to take their results according to the mom.
Did she give a specific one to take?
She didn't say it in here. He didn't write it, but that's possible.
Yeah.
But
okay. So it's possibly only one of the kids is his.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the update. Thank you so much for all the love and support. My sisters, brothers, and I have not yet decided if we're going to take the test. No matter what the results are, we still love each other and our parents no matter what, which is very sweet. But there is an update 2.
Okay.
Update 2. Christmas isn't ruined. My F-up actually turned into a Christmas miracle. Turns out, my sister's father passed away shortly after she was born. A good friend of my mom's was able to help her through the darkest time in her life, and they went on to fall in love and create the rest of our family. They never told us because of how hard it was for my mom. Last night, she was strong enough to share stories and photos with us for the first time, and it truly brought us even closer together as a family. This is a Christmas we will never forget, and yes, we are all excited to get our test results. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Aww.
So yeah, the other father died at childbirth, and the mom's close friend helped her through it, became the father of the rest of the kids. So the upstairs argument was the mom not wanting to like reveal the truth, but the dad convincing her it was okay. It wasn't an argument. So I think it's a very sweet ending for what seems like a tragic story.
That's so wholesome. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Usually stories don't end that well.
Yeah, it's a plot twist, but a good one.
No, that was a good plot twist.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that. That's
so
good.
that was a shorter one just to break up the "Am I the a-hole?"
Yeah.
Here's next.
Here's next.
Here's next.
Next.
Am I the a-hole for telling my neighbor I dated her husband?
Wait.
I, parentheses, 33 female, became friendly with my neighbor, 37 female. Let's call her Emily. After I helped spill the tea. After I helped her move a few boxes into our building while her husband, 35 male, was in the hospital, I didn't meet Emily's husband until a few weeks later when she invited me over to dinner as thanks. When I arrived first, Emily's husband had run out to pick up some wine, but when he came back, I was shocked to see Matt, a guy I had gone on 3 dates with a year ago before he suddenly ghosted me. He had a terrible poker face and tried to pretend like he didn't recognize me. I don't play those games. I asked how long they had been married, and Emily said 3 years. She recognized there was tension and asked if we knew each other. He said no. I said yes and told Emily that I had gone on dates with him a year ago. She became very upset and asked me to leave, which I did. The next day, Emily reached out and said that she didn't appreciate that I lied about when I dated her husband. He told her we had dated 4 years ago before they were married. I didn't even live in this city 4 years ago, and if we had dated 4 years ago, they had been engaged at that point. Either way, he would have been cheating. I sent her screenshots of our texts from the year before and from Bumble of his profile, which was still active. She never responded, but when I saw her in the lobby yesterday, she wouldn't even look me in the eye. I don't know if they're still together, and Emily hasn't responded to my text. So, am I the a-hole for telling her the truth?
No. Not at all.
There was a very clear a-hole in this.
Yeah, obviously tell her the truth.
Yeah.
Man, what a guy.
Yeah.
So they had been engaged for 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or no, they had been married for 3 years.
They've been married for 3 years. They've been together for longer than that.
Yeah. And then the fling that they OP and the husband knew or got together, that was like a year ago.
Yeah. Which is insane. So yeah, clearly there is one a-hole here. It's not Emily, it's not OP, it is the husband, Matt.
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 Who's the cheater. Because no matter what, in my opinion, if you're cheating on your partner, you're the bad guy, period.
Yeah, no matter what.
No matter what. Cheating is like one of the absolute worst things you could do to somebody.
I absolutely agree.
And there's no recovering from that. And well, okay,
obviously for too many people there is.
But there are situations where I know that people have been able to get over certain things. But for the most part, there's no way I can see myself getting over that.
I know some people who have cheated on people to get out of like abusive relationships and stuff like that. I think that makes sense. I'm not gonna hurt you for that. If you're trying to get safety out of a relationship that you're scared they're going to hurt you if you leave, that's different. If you're in a seemingly happy relationship and you cheat on them, there's no going back for me personally.
Because to me, that's just breaking all trust.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Immediately.
And trust is one of the most important things.
The most important, I think.
In relationships. So the second that trust is gone, like that level of trust is gone.
Yeah.
No. So I think they, Emily and Matt probably had that conversation, and Matt just tried everything to convince her. And Emily, whether she believes him or not, is trying to accept that that's the truth.
Yes, and that trust will be broken whether she does believe the OP or not. It's just,
but
it hurts.
She doesn't want to believe it.
She doesn't want to,
which is why she's taking Matt's side.
Yeah,
because one, you've been with this guy for so long, and two, I mean, if they're married, like that, so that's a lot more of a process to get out of.
They've been married for 3 years, and they have bare minimum given each other 4 years of their lives because she said that she still would have been dating him then. So like, minimum of 4 years of
And-
your life, you don't want to accept that.
It sounded like they live in a house together, so they probably own a home. They probably, I don't know if there was any kids in the scenario, but it said they were just moving into the home, I think. So I don't know. That's why Emily's being like that to OP, because
Yeah.
she just doesn't want to accept
Yeah.
the fact that is the truth. But no, to answer OP's question,
No,
she is
she's
not
not
the
the a-hole.
She's not the a-hole, because if nothing else, Emily deserved to know.
Yep.
Whether she believes it or not, whether she does whatever, I think it would have probably ate OP up if they didn't tell him.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, moving on. Am I the a-hole for suing my parents for college money? Yeah.
What?
My great aunt set up saving accounts for all of her female relatives. In our culture, education for women is not really valued, and she thought that was bullcrap. She lived with her father in London, where she was educated. She went on to attend university and became a doctor. She married a British man. They moved to America and had a great life. She funded the education of as many of her nieces and grandnieces as she could. Queen, for sure. She's awesome. When she passed away, she left money for every girl relative she could. My parents managed to access the accounts that were set up for my sister and I. They used it to pay for my brother's wedding. My sister didn't care because she got married 2 years out of high school and had no intention of going to college. When I graduated, I went to the bank to get my money for school and it was almost all gone. There was like $13,000 left. I asked my parents about it and they said they had needed the money. I finally found out where the money went. I was furious. I got student loans and moved out. I'm a great source of shame to them and I don't give two Fs. I'm currently suing them for the money that was left for me. My entire family is against me. They all think I'm a complete a-hole for airing private family business out in public and that I am putting real money ahead of my family. My friends are all on my side, but they are all Americans and don't really get my culture. Neither do I, to be honest. My brother called me up and offered to pay for my university if I dropped the lawsuit. I agreed as long as we had a legally binding contract. He said I was being an a-hole for not trusting him. I said he should not have accepted my money for his wedding. It's causing all kinds of embarrassment in our community. I'm somewhat ashamed to be doing this, but I don't want to have this debt I should not have.
What a sticky situation. It's always worse when the situation involves family like that. Because, I mean, if some random person stole your college money, yeah, sue him.
Yeah.
But you just don't want to create that divide in your family, but at the same time, she's completely right. Or
It was her money.
It was literally her money given to her by her distant relative. It was grandma and
Her great aunt,
Great
who was
aunt.
literally just wanting to set up a future for her nieces.
Yeah, and I'm assuming it was probably given, the money or the account was probably put maybe into OP's name, but probably with the parents.
See, the thing is, she went to go access it and saw how little was left of it, and her parents had managed to access it as well, which means that they probably all had it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think the great aunt gave the parents the go ahead to use it for a brother's wedding. I think it would have been for like an emergency, like she got severely injured and they need to pay for hospital bills or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not for that kind of thing. Using it for another sibling when it's her money explicitly is crazy. If you asked the other sister, the one who did not go to college, and you were like, hey, since you're not going, do you mind if we use what was supposed to be your college fund to pay for your brother's wedding? And she said, okay, that's different. But stealing hers when she had plans to go to college is crazy. And then the brother saying that he would pay for it and then refusing to sign a contract, he was absolutely just trying her to get her to stop suing him. Like,
Yeah, and then he wasn't going
to pay for it.
He wasn't going to pay for it. That's why he didn't want to sign the contract. And him being like, man, the fact that that you don't trust me and all this is just crazy. Like, you're ruining like all the family stuff. I wouldn't trust any part of the family if I knew that my parents stole from me.
Yeah, they stole money. And also, I'll say, she says they stole it and it was almost all gone. There was like $13,000 left. If there was $13,000 left, how much was in there in the first place that they stole? That's insane.
That's what I was also going to say. That it must have been a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it sounded like they weren't American.
Yeah, because we don't know what culture they're in, but apparently they just don't value women education, which is a thing all around the world.
They mentioned America multiple times, which makes me think that they
have moved there, but they still have the culture of whatever country they came
Oh,
from.
okay. So
I'm assuming because she said that all of her friends are American, so I'm assuming they all live in America.
Okay. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, or you might not have no knowledge on this. And I'm assuming it's different in whatever culture, and obviously people even in America do it differently.
Yeah.
But I thought traditionally, with a lot of American Christian beliefs, it was the bride's family who pays for the wedding.
I don't know. I think you're right, but I can't fact check that. But I think you're right.
I could just be completely wrong on that, and I could be making that up. And obviously, it doesn't matter because
I don't think that's something that should come into there in the first place. I think, like, both sides of the family should help if they're willing to. They have no inclination to help. If you want to have an expensive wedding and your family can't pay for it, that's on you.
Yeah, no, I agree wholeheartedly. I guess I was just asking because I was just wondering
just what culture it is, basically. I'm confused too.
Yeah,
I want to know where it's from.
I'd like to know because I don't know. It just seems kind of crazy that all that was put onto the brother's family to pay for the wedding, and the brother's family wasn't able to pay for the wedding without stealing. So I wonder.
I do wonder if they willingly were like, oh, we have a ton of money in the bank. So,
that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, oh yeah, we have money, and they really didn't.
Yeah. I don't know.
Their daughter had money.
Yeah. There's too much going on there. I don't like it.
Is there an update on that one?
No, there's no update on that one. Obviously she's not the a-hole. It's the parents for sure, and the brother, and the whole family was saying that she's like ruining the family name basically by trying to sue her parents. No.
So the whole family's a a-hole besides the great aunt.
Yes. Besides the great, she's awesome.
Great aunt is the goat.
Even the sister who straight up said it was okay that you stole my money because I'm not going to college.
Yeah, and she should be like, yeah, it's okay you stole my money, and then took up for her sister.
And gave the rest of the money from hers to her sister. Because she didn't steal all the one from the other one, I'm assuming they didn't steal it all from her sister either.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So, yeah. I don't like it.
I hope she went to college and got it paid for.
Me too. That was 2 years ago. So hopefully she's doing well.
She could have an associate's degree by now.
Yeah. Hopefully she's chilling. Okay, we have a few other ones. I'm trying to decide which ones to use.
Okay.
Because there's some bangers.
We get like 2 more, maybe. 2, maybe 3 more.
I think we could do 3.
3? Okay.
This one's iconic. Awoken by a lamp, a parallel life. Have you heard this one?
I don't think so.
This one's like actually crazy.
What subreddit is this?
Glitch in the Matrix.
Oh, okay. So it's not an Am I the A-hole or anything?
I don't know where it's originally from, but it was reposted in the Glitch in the Matrix.
Okay.
It was originally posted by Timto Tassoon. There's a lot of letters.
Timto Tassoon.
Timto Tassoon. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Sorry.
So my last semester at a certain college, I was assaulted by a football player for walking where he was trying to drive. Note, he was 325 pounds. I was 120 pounds. While unconscious on the ground, I lived a different life. I met a wonderful young lady. She made my heart skip and my face red. I pursued her for months and dispatched a few jerk boyfriends before I finally won her over. After 2 years, we finally got married, and almost immediately she bore me a daughter. I had a great job, and my wife didn't have to work outside of the house. When my daughter was 2, she, my wife, bore me a son. My son was the joy of my life. I would walk into his room every morning before I left for work and doted on him and my daughter. One day, while sitting on the couch, I noticed that the perspective of the lamp was odd, like inverted. It was still 3D, but just wrong. It was a square lamp base, red with gold trim on 4 legs, and a white square shade. I was transfixed. I couldn't look away from it. I stayed up all night staring at it. The next morning, I didn't go to work. Something was just not right about that lamp. I stopped eating. I left the couch only to use the bathroom at first. Soon, I stopped that too as I wasn't eating or drinking. I stared at that lamp for 3 days before my wife got really worried. She had someone come and try to talk to me. By this time, my cognizance was breaking up and my wife was freaking out. She took the kids to her mother's house just before I had my epiphany. That lamp is not real. This house is not real. My wife, my kids, none of it is real. The last 10 years of my life are not real. The lamp started to grow wider and deeper. It was still in inverted dimensions. It took up my entire perspective, and all I could see was red. I heard voices, screams, all kind of weird noises, and I became aware of pain. A crap ton of pain. The first words I said were, "I'm missing teeth," and I opened my eyes. I was laying on my back on the sidewalk surrounded by people that I didn't know. Lots were freaking out. I was completely confused. At some point, a cop scooped me up, dragged/walked me across the sidewalk and grass, and threw me face down in the back of a cop car. I was still confused. I was taken to the hospital by the cop. Seems he didn't want to wait for the ambulance to arrive. And CT scans. I went through about 3 years of horrid depression. I was grieving the loss of my wife and children and dealing with the knowledge that they never existed. I was scared that I was going insane and I'd cry myself to sleep hoping I would see her in my dreams. I never have, but sometimes I see my son, usually just a glimpse out of my peripheral vision. He is perpetually 5 years old and I can never hear what he says. I can't imagine going through that.
Can you just read like the first few sentences again? Like the very first part.
The very first part?
Yeah.
My last semester at a certain college, I was assaulted by a football player for walking where he was trying to drive. He was 325 pounds, I was 120. While unconscious on the ground, I lived a different life.
Okay, yeah. Man, so he just got beat up.
He was unconscious.
Knocked unconscious. Lived this entire...
10 years of the rest of his life, was fake. And he noticed it just because the lamp looked funny. And then he woke up. And then had depression after that because his family that he loved did not exist.
He was literally mourning loss
that he didn't have. And he felt bad. He felt like he was crazy for having it. It's truly sad. I think that story is so depressing.
That's so, just trying to think about how all that works. I mean, he must have been hit really hard.
325 pounds coming out of 120-pound dude, yeah.
Brain stuff scares me.
Absolutely.
You know a lot more about just stuff like that than I do. Just because all your sleep demons and stuff.
For sleep paralysis.
Yeah, but just trying to think of, getting knocked unconscious. I mean, how realistic is that? Getting knocked unconscious and just imagining to...
I've heard of so many stories of people in comas and stuff like that living lives that were not real, and I think everyone at some point in their life has had a dream at some point of them spending a long time in a world that doesn't exist and then waking up and being like, whoa, that's weird. So I can fully imagine it happening just like that. Because dreams, realistically, most dreams last, I think it's 15 to 20 seconds, but in your head they're forever, the entire time you're sleeping.
This is scaring me.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
So how long do you think he was unconscious for?
I don't know. He doesn't say.
I say at max is 5 minutes, right? Max.
Yeah, maximum.
Max. It's probably a couple minutes, if that.
Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't say.
I mean, long enough for the guy to disappear and him to be surrounded by cops or people and a cop.
Yeah, and the
guy, a couple minutes.
The guy goes on to say that some people have tried to refute it, saying it's impossible, and basically his way of saying it is don't assume you know everything. He's just brains are weird, and I fully agree. Brains can do some crazy stuff, as you said, sleep paralysis. I don't waking up and seeing an Enderman from Minecraft coming at me in the middle of the night. I believe the story, but I can't imagine how much that would suck.
I want to believe the guy. It just seems so crazy to me.
It is crazy, but I think until you've had you have to have dreams that vivid to fully understand where he's getting at.
That's so... Imagining all that's true, that is so sad.
It's so depressing. Having grief that you feel like you're crazy for having because it didn't happen.
And then nobody believes you.
Yeah.
I'm questioning them right now, but if that is true, just the thought of going through all that, nobody believing you.
Yeah.
Man, that's so sad. Poor guy.
Okay, this one's kind of long, but it's hilarious. Okay. So, this is from Ask Reddit. It's a comment on a post. The post was, truck drivers of Reddit have any good stories from the road?
Okay.
And this guy says, as a man that has reached the ripe old age of 48, I can promise you I have seen some stuff go down. This one totally takes the cake for me, though. I was waiting out front of a truck stop back in the mid-'80s, sitting on a park bench with a guy that had a big Rottweiler kind of dog on a leash with him. I tried to make small talk, but he was quite a sourpuss. So we sat in silence for a few minutes until the most unexpected thing I have ever seen happened right before my very eyes. While we were sitting there, a big 18-wheeler pulls up in without a trailer, so he parks right up front like a normal car would. Inside the cab of the truck with the driver is a little monkey. The dance for the organ grinder kind. I think they're called rhesus monkeys, perhaps. Well, the dog spots this little monkey and proceeds to go crazy over it, lunging at the end of his leash and barking at the top of his lungs, generally making a real spectacle of himself, to say the least. The driver's obviously upset, but not nearly as much as the monkey is. Actually upset may be the wrong adjective to use for the monkey, though. In retrospect, I think eagerly aggressive may be a more appropriate description for his disposition. He was pacing the dashboard back and forth, never taking his eyes off of this very aggravating dog. The driver opens his little triangle window that they don't make on cars anymore, the kind made for smokers back in the day. He yells out to this douchebag to call his dog off because it's upsetting the monkey. The guy laughs and says, "No way," parentheses, "I told you he was a jerk, didn't I?" Says that his dog ain't bothering nobody. This dog hasn't shut up since he laid eyes on the monkey. I promise you, he's bothering everybody for several blocks around. Now here's where things start to get interesting. The driver says that if he doesn't call his dog off, he's gonna let his monkey loose on that dog. The douchebag laughs and says that his dog would eat that monkey alive. Upon hearing this, the driver leans over and reaches into his glove box, I guess, pulls out one of those tiny baseball bats like you get at Astro World or carnivals, and places it in the monkey's hand. The monkey obviously knows what's about to go down because he is now trying to squeeze out of that triangle window I mentioned earlier. This monkey has murder in his eyes if I've ever seen it. Driver hollers, "Last chance to save your dog's butt, man." In response, the douchebag lets his dog off the leash. Now we have a situation that has escalated to the point where we have a dog jumping at the window and a monkey screaming profanities right back at him. While the driver finally rolls down the regular window and out leaps all kinds of miniature primate heck. The dog never knew what hit him. Quick as a flash, this monkey is riding on the back of the dog's neck, his two back feet all wrapped around the neck fur with one hand hanging onto an ear. The other hand, as you may have guessed by now, is steadily and mercilessly raining down blows about the dog's head and face. I mean hard blows. You can hear them whap, whap, whap. Well, it only took a moment to realize that the dog was way in over his head. He bolts, yelping bloody murder as he screams and runs away at full speed. I mean, this dog is running so hard, he's throwing up tufts of grass and dirt as soon as he leaves the pavement. The monkey's still riding him and beating him the whole time. The douchebag acts like he wants to fight now, but several people, including myself, stepped in to stop that nonsense. A couple of minutes or so later, the little monkey comes loping back with his little bat still in hand and leaps up to the still open window of the truck to await his master, who has gone to a store. The wanker ran off to try to go find his dog, but I don't know if he ever did. My ride shut up and I had to go. Never again in this lifetime will I see something so totally crazy and unexpected like that. I am both fortunate and humbled to have been so privileged to be present for such an event.
Man, I love monkeys.
Monkey with a baseball bat goes crazy.
Dude,
well, the little squishy bat, but like
I know.
still.
Imagine being that guy and you like let your dog loose and then and the monkey with the baseball bat riding the dog. That image in my head is so funny.
I love it. I don't know how true the story is, but I want to believe it's true. And like, you know, I have literal monkeys in my family, and this is something I could see them doing. Man, so like,
monkeys are so funny.
No, yeah, that's peak. That's awesome. How much time we got left? We have time for at least one or two
we can do one more, but I think you need to give a little bit more about the monkeys in your family.
Okay, so someone in my family has monkeys. I won't like go any more specific than that, but
Okay.
but they are legally owned. There's a license for them, which is crazy that you can just have a license. Not that small. No, it's crazy that you can have a license to own a monkey. When they stand up, most of them are about this tall. One of the other ones is about this tall when he stands up.
And
it's
tall monkey.
Pretty awesome. The majority of them are older than I am.
Monkeys go awesome.
Monkeys go awesome. Only one of them is not older than I am. And he's like 16, I think. But yeah, they live to like 40 plus years.
Do you have monkeys as older relatives?
Yes. I have monkey uncles and a monkey aunt.
You call them munkles?
Munkles? Yeah, I will now. Yeah.
What are their names? Wait, how many are there?
There's 4. There's BJ, Jersey, Elvis, and Bentley.
Which one's your favorite?
Bentley.
Bentley is a goat.
He's the younger one. He gives me hugs.
Oh, that's so cute.
He's pretty awesome.
I've still yet to meet the monkeys.
Yeah,
I want to meet the monkeys.
They're not in the same state anymore, so it's gonna be hard.
I will meet the monkeys one day.
Okay.
I felt like they would be probably interested, or somebody's probably interested in the monkeys. So. I love monkeys.
Okay, I've got.
Give us one
You
more
want
good
one
one.
more?
One more good one to end on.
This one's not long, so I think it's a good one to end
Okay.
on. I just think it's funny.
Okay.
Let me make sure I don't have another "Am I the A-hole" first, but I do, but I don't think it's great. So
Okay.
we'll skip
Whatever,
that one. The last one's there's not much to say about it. I just think it's funny. So it's another Ask Reddit post. What is the laziest thing you've ever done? This guy Tupper Wolf responds with, late to the party, but this one is too good to pass up. I was once on a U.S. military ship having breakfast in the wardroom, the officer's lounge, when the operations officer walks in. This guy was the definition of not a morning person. He's still half asleep, bleary-eyed, basically a zombie with a bagel. He sits down across from me to eat his bagel and is barely conscious. My back is to the outboard of the ship, and the morning sun is blazing in one of the portholes, putting a big, bright circle of light right on his barely conscious face. He's squinting and chewing and basically just remembering how to be alive for today. It's painful to watch. But then, zombie OPS stops chewing, slowly picks up the phone and dials the bridge. In his well-known "I'm still totally asleep" voice, he says, "Hey, it's OPS. Could you shift our bar pad? Yeah, 165. Thanks." And puts the phone down, and he sits there, squinting, waiting. And then, ever so slowly, I realized that big blazing spot of sun has begun to slide off the zombie's face onto the wall behind him. After a moment, it clears his face and he blinks slowly a few times, and the brilliant beauty of what I've just witnessed begins to overwhelm me. By ordering the bridge to adjust the ship's back and forth patrol by about 15 degrees, he's changed our course just enough to reposition the sun off his face. He literally just redirected thousands of tons of steel and hundreds of people just so he could get the sun out of his eyes while he eats his bagel. I am in awe. He slowly picks up his bagel, and for a moment I'm terrified at the thought his own genius may escape him. He may never appreciate the epic brilliance of his laziness, parentheses, since he's not going to wake up for another hour. But between his next bites, he pauses, looks at me, and gives me the faintest sly grin before returning to gnaw slowly on his zombie bagel.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a man right there.
What a guy.
Yeah, that's sick.
Oh, I don't really know what else to say about that.
Do you want one more or no? Because we can have one to actually talk about. But
I'd like another "Am I the A-hole" one? If you have another one.
I think that's the only thing I haven't read is one more last.
Okay,
Well, there's two, but I'll only read the one. But, this one is just weird. The original poster has deleted their account. But am I the a-hole for eating too many cucumbers?
Yes. Don't eat cucumbers.
This is perhaps the most bizarre "Am I the a-hole" post I've ever written. It's funny that this person's apparently written multiple.
Man, he must think he's a bad guy.
But I'm honestly so confused. Like, I feel like I can't possibly be the a-hole, but then sometimes people are too blind to see their own flaws, so maybe I really am. For as long as I can remember, I've had this quirk. I guess you could call that I never snack on anything other than cucumber. I shouldn't never say never, technically, since socially I'll get ice cream or eat a few chips at a party. I'm not a picky eater by any means, but my snack of choice has always been cucumbers. I eat pretty healthily anyway, so a lot of fruits and veggies are part of my diet. Since veggies are lower in calories, I have to eat a lot of them to eat enough. So I'll usually have some sliced cucumber in my purse that I munch on throughout the day, and I'll always have a cucumber in my car that I just eat whole while I'm driving. I go through several cucumbers daily. Although it's not healthy, I've had days where I felt really depressed and overwhelmed and have binge eaten nothing but cucumbers. I think I've eaten perhaps 35 on very extreme days. Recently, this quirk has begun to drive my 22 female boyfriend, 33 male, of 6 months insane. His words, not mine. He says it's highly inappropriate to carry them everywhere with me. We spent last weekend at his parents' lake house, and I provided my own cucumber to snack on. One night before bed, I was in my room gnawing on a cucumber like a savage when his mother walked in. Under normal circumstances, I never would eat that around others. I'd slice it up. She was puzzled but chuckled and said, "My, you do like cucumber." My boyfriend later told me that I humiliated him with my childish and immature eating habits. I told him that his mom caught me in a low moment. He was being ridiculous since he eats a bag of chips every day and I don't bat an eye. He told me chips were a normal snack and whole cucumbers were deranged. He told me I needed to stop eating cucumbers and that my behavior was becoming a deal breaker for him. I feel really bothered, but I think cucumbers are a weird hill to die on, and I don't want to lose my relationship. So, am I the a-hole?
I really like the pun of cucumbers being a deal breaker. When you read that, that's all I could think about. Oh, man, a girl just likes her cucumbers. I can't relate. I like pickles. I don't like cucumbers. Apparently they're the same thing.
Yeah. The pickle cucumbers to make pickles.
What? Wait, so pickling is a verb? To pickle?
Yes. Have you never had anything else that's pickled?
No.
That's crazy.
What does it mean to pickle something?
Like, it's a mix of random things. I've never done it, but I think there's like...
You're not a big pickler?
No. I love pickled stuff. I just don't do it myself. But it's like a mix of different things like vinegar and I think onions sometimes are used, peppers, that kind of thing. But it's like there's pickled green beans, which actually slap, pickled okra. There's pickled eggs, pickled sausages. There's a ton. You can pickle almost anything.
Next time we do a draft, when you lose, the punishment is going to be that you have to be pickled.
Do we use your hot tub? I don't want to use my hot tub.
I don't. Maybe we could use like a bathtub or something. I don't know about using the hot tub. That might be like a mess to clean up.
Okay.
Sorry, that tangent.
We're getting too far ahead. But yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I mean, yeah, it's a little weird, but like
it's definitely weird.
But like, man, I like cucumbers personally. I mean,
Okay.
I wouldn't carry them in my bag and just snack on them all day. But like, if there's one in front of me, I'm probably gonna eat it.
Devil's advocate though. Homegirl literally said she like pulls out a whole cucumber every time she gets in the car. Like she just has them in her car. She's like,
yeah, I mean, like it's still weird, but like it's not hurting anyone. And bro,
okay, but I feel like if you eat an unnecessary amount of anything, it is unhealthy.
Well, yeah,
she's eating like so many cucumbers.
I drink like 4 gallons of milk a week. I can't really speak on it, but like
that's a lot of milk.
It is way too much. But he says that like, well, where was the thing at? That she humiliated him with childish and immature eating habits. Dog, your mom walked in to the room that she was staying in and saw her eating a cucumber.
Okay, that's really funny.
Yeah, I mean, like, and the mom literally made a joke about it. There's nothing humiliating about that.
Imagine like you just walked in here and I'm just sitting, cucumber. she has like little cut up cucumbers like out of a bag.
My bad. Usually they're sliced. Ow!
I just love the idea of her just taking a whole bite out of a cucumber like sideways. I mean,
yeah.
Okay, there could be a lot worse things she's addicted to.
No, yeah, for sure.
She's addicted to cucumbers. Girly Pop likes her cucumbers. Whatever.
Yeah, I think that's another one where the top comment kind of perfectly encapsulates my feelings, which is not the a-hole, dump your boyfriend and enjoy your cucumbers. Note, I personally find cucumbers disgusting, and it would never still occur to me to care about this at all. Like,
yeah,
it's not a deal. It's not a big deal at all.
Are they married?
Boyfriend.
Oh,
and it's a boyfriend who is 11 years older.
Oh.
Yeah. 33-year-old man, 22-year-old female.
And, okay, that's really interesting. He's that much older. And
he still cares?
Well, he still cares, but how he cared and how he responded to her, because he said that he was mad she was acting, like, childish.
Yeah. You're the one acting childish. You're making fun of what she eats.
Yeah, but, man, date someone your own age.
Yeah, that too.
Not 11 years younger.
I fully agree there.
And then complain they're being childish.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah.
I'm just the guy who likes pickles over cucumbers, personally.
Yeah. I'd rather eat a pickle than a cucumber, but I can still do both.
I'd much rather eat pickles, and I can't wait to pickle you, because...
You're not pickling me. Please, guys, can we find another thing for me to do?
Maybe, but I don't know. I like pickles, and I like reading these Reddit stories. This was fun.
Reddit stories, I think they go awesome.
They do go awesome. You know what else goes awesome? Our podcast, which is why you should subscribe on our YouTube channel and follow us on Spotify. Make sure you like and comment, do all the interaction stuff, get our stuff up, because it helps us. It makes us be able to do this because it's fun sometimes.
It is.
No, it's always fun. Yeah, so if you've done all that, if you've done it on the platform you're listening, even if you don't listen on the other one, flip-flop.
Please.
Go like on the other one, go follow on the other one, and make sure you check out the Instagram and the TikTok. It is at ThatGoesAwesomePod. The Instagram especially because you can vote on stuff like this and make one of us do silly things. And the TikTok because we're about to go take this silly thing and I'm going to go dance as like Spider-Man. So make sure you're following so you can go watch that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm Jayden,
I'm Christian.
and I don't remember what we say other than that goes awesome.
It's awful.
We're out.